You're tuned into Collateral Damage, the military families FAP and IDC leave behind. Voices have been altered, because in this system, honesty has a price. Let's jump into episode 16, True Story, Guilty Until Proven Innocent, Inside the Family Advocacy Trap.
What would you do if, just completely out of nowhere, you get this call from your military command, blindsiding you, really, with a serious accusation? Maybe you're even on leave, with a newborn, and boom, your whole world just tilts. Well, that's pretty much what happened to Rick. And today, we're going to really dig into his firsthand account. It sheds light on some, let's say, critical issues within the military's Family Advocacy Program, or FAP. This deep dive, it sort of builds on our ongoing look at these, vital but complex systems.
Exactly. Our goal here is to really unpack Rick's whole experience. From that first, frankly, bewildering phone call through what he described as a pretty coercive process, and then looking at the ongoing effects on his family. We're pulling the details straight from his story to understand, well, not just what happened, but what it tells us about how FAP can sometimes work or maybe not work.
So Rick used the words completely blindsided. He gets this call right. Needs to attend a mandatory FAP appointment. Why? Allegations of abuse. But he had, zero idea what they were even talking about. That must have been incredibly disorienting.
Yeah, what's really puzzling is how it all started. Rick found out later from FAP officials themselves. There was no formal complaint. No police report, no CPS involvement, this Child Protective Services, who you normally expect in serious cases. Nothing like that. Apparently, the whole FAP case opened because, and this is a quote, apparently someone had called the base seeking information about resources on behalf of my wife and claimed I was emotionally abusing her.
Wow, just like that.
Pretty much. Rick was just baffled. He said he was given only a vague idea of what the accusations were, nothing specific. And that really points to a potential issue right at the start. How could an informal tip, maybe unverified, trigger such a formal process?
Yeah, it sounds like there weren't many checks right at the beginning. So Rick, he's dealing with a newborn, he's on baby leave, he shows up to this mandatory meeting, and they just hand him a thick stack of documents and mental health questionnaires. He felt pressured, he said. And looking back, he really, really regrets filling them out then and there, without legal counsel. I mean, talk about a tough spot. New baby, serious accusations, no lawyer.
And what happened when he actually asked about getting legal advice? That's particularly concerning. The caseworker apparently told him, point blank, if he refused to participate right then, he'd be put in a mandatory 20-week program.
20 weeks?
Mandatory.
Yeah, she apparently said it wasn't a punishment, but for Rick. Stressed, new baby. It absolutely felt like a punishment. So under that pressure, he went ahead with the interview. But he felt like he was being treated as if I were guilty and had to prove my innocence. He called the whole thing an interrogation, not, a fair look at the facts.
That really raises questions about, due process, doesn't it? It certainly does. Is compliance under that kind of duress truly voluntary? Or is there a reason for such, let's call them, strong incentives? It's a tough balance.
Definitely makes you think. So after this intense interview, the caseworker then contacts Rick's wife. And she, understandably, found the whole thing too stressful for her, especially considering she's still in the postpartum period.
Very stressful. And Rick also mentioned something interesting the caseworker told him later, that his command wasn't going to issue a military protective order, an MPO.
An MPO. That's like a military restraining order, right? Issued by the command.
Exactly. It's a serious step, usually for safety in clear cases of abuse, separating people. The fact that it was even discussed, apparently, given how vague the initial claim was, it shows how quickly things can escalate within FAP. Rick himself was just bewildered, thinking, why the hell would even issue an MPO and separate me from family?
And the fallout didn't just stop there, right? It had lasting effects.
Oh, definitely not. The impact lingered. His wife remained extremely upset. The whole situation put an enormous and unnecessary strain on their family. Plus, Rick felt his reputation at work has been tarnished. And this is regardless of the outcome,
Right.
And maybe the most significant part, the kicker. His case stays in their database for 5 years minimum, no matter the findings.
5 years, even if nothing was substantiated.
That's what he was told. So unsubstantiated or not, it potentially follows him.
So wrapping this up, what we've seen through Rick's story is, a journey. It started with a really vague, informal claim, which then blew up into a full formal FAP investigation with some pretty heavy personal, family, and even professional consequences, and all seemingly stemming from an unverified source.
Exactly. And Rick's experience really poses a critical question for us, something to think about. What does his story tell us about that tension, that balance between genuinely protecting military families, which is crucial, and ensuring fair treatment and due process within these programs like FAP? How can we make sure these systems support the people they're meant to protect without causing, undue harm or distress to someone accused? Especially when it starts with something so vague or unverified. It's a really delicate balance, and maybe one that needs continuous attention and refinement.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe as we have so many more stories to tell. This isn't about one person, it's about a broken system. Contact us if you'd like your story told. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe as we have so many more stories to tell. This isn't about one person, it's about a broken system. Contact us if you'd like your story told.